I don't know how I'm thinking about it, but then of ushering them back. You get what I'm telling you?
I get you.
Because someone coming from their prime, they have played the basketball for the longest time. Yeah, they have been cheered at. They are used of that, and then of course, age is always coming for everyone.
Everyone, yes.
And of course, the more you age, is the more functionality reduces.
Yes.
You get it. So since you have validated the fact that it takes a strong mental toll on them, doesn't it call for?
That's a topic I've when you sit around to catch up and stuff with other guys, that's a topic we've been talking about, bringing back guys who have played the game. Because there are guys, yes, they might not be the best at some, let me say, things, done, but for the mere fact that they played the game at that level, there are things that they will see in the game that will help the system get in a better place. This is a suggestion I've ever mentioned. You see, when the national teams are recruiting, sometimes it's a short time. Sometimes you notice when it's already done. So the people who are privileged to get this information, they might be normally in the circles. But my big suggestion would be, why don't we use these ex-players who knew the game at that high level, at that level? Why don't we use these same guys, send them to their, let me say, home districts? Get Norman, get Julio, get Donald, get a couple of guys, let me say, from Ginger. Get Godwin, Kisa, send them to Ginger for a camp of 1 week, whereby they're going to look at the players, let me say, not the entire East, but let me say Ginger, Uganda, Ujiri, the neighboring districts. After that 1 week, and they come back to Kampala, let me say, with the prospects they think they will be ideal to fit on there, let me say, the junior teams or even the national team.
Yeah.
But I would say, because then most of the players playing for the national team, the adult team, they're within Kampala, and they are known. But for this under 18, remember, kids are always growing every time. So when you send other players, let me say Tumbara, retired players, they have an eye for the game. So if we have a budget to cover for those players, to go and maybe camp there for a week and have a camp, screen kids, and see, because sometimes when you call out kids to Lugogo for trials for the under 18 team, so I feel a week, 2, 3 is not enough. To screen kids, because some kids are coming in very nervous. And when they come in very nervous, that means you're not going to get full potential out of them. And trust you me, there are people who get better when they connect with other people. So it would be ideal if we have a retired group that goes, let me say, to the north, a retired group that goes to the east, and other coaches, I would say. They are not literally coaching, but they have the eye for the game. So they can see some things happen.
I'm going to bring you back to that conversation later of how ex-players can remain relevant in the game. Because I feel like someone who has done something for the longest time, they would love to stay around that thing because they really have a good understanding.
Yeah, definitely.
I believe that is what you're trying to
And I've seen, I can tell you, I have a friend of mine, I first saw him in Ginger because we were neighbors, but he happened to play for Crane High, he played for Kumba, he played for KIU, he played for Ndeje, he played for, I think, Power, a couple of, so many teams around. Tuama Julius. Julius understood the game in a certain way. And Julius was very good at passing on the game to younger generations so well, and me personally, I can say, I witnessed guys like Justus Mugisha. I think he's on the coaching bench of City Oils. So such guys and more are out there.
From that very example, I am going to shift you to another conversation that I believe will be of benefit. Now, I have seen that for most people that have played the game or who are still playing the game, the next big thing for them is to become coaches. Is either for high school, for the Div 1 or 2 teams and all that. Is that the direct route forward as you progress out of active
not necessarily,
game and all that?
Necessarily, because to be honest, not every good player is a good coach, and that's a fact. And there are guys who can't even play so well, but they be better coaches. And you've seen that scenario across all sports. Like a guy who used to be on the bench who couldn't even shoot, when he crosses to the coaching side, is exceptional. Then there's this guy who was very good. Me, the part I'm saying, keeping them relevant by working with them.
Yeah.
There are things that when they see these ex-players, basically what's happening, they're inspiring. You get. They're not even coaching, but they're inspiring. They also have the game knowledge.
Yeah, they understand.
They understand,
yeah.
But sometimes they might not be very good coaches. But their presence alone inspires. You get young kids. But some kids have not even seen them play. You get. But sometimes when they come around and they're seeing maybe some of the guys they've been talking about in the news, a guy has played for the national team and stuff like that. Let me say, for example, the other time we were in Entebbe playing a friendly with the Entebbe Blitz. It's like a junior team for the legends. The beautiful thing I noticed, Jimmy Enabu, he had the game the previous day, but because the inspiration of the next day, him being around and playing with these guys the next day, it was very inspiring. And I can assure you, our journey back, the guys we traveled with, the young guys, they were very happy to see Jimmy Enabu play with them.
Yeah.
You get. That's the kind of inspiration.
To rub shoulders.
Exactly. So sometimes it's not that they are going to the direction of coaching, but their relevance inspires new generations that we don't have to be fetching players, international players. Then someone has never even been in the country, but because he has an attachment, a string onto Uganda, before dual citizenship and stuff like that, then we are dropping talents here which are not inspired in the country. You get. So those are things sometimes we would want to have a round table whereby not a particular person is on the high table, then the others are down, that information is flowing from up going down. I would want to have a round table where we all discuss these things, and this is the reality, to keep our people sane.
Yes.
Mental health is a real thing.
Yeah.
People go crazy about things. It's a real thing. And also, because there are budgets for these things sometimes. You get. Let these guys tap into this money. You don't want to see your ex-international player struggling, living on bare minimum.
Yeah. What kind of message are they taking?
Exactly.
Are they sending to the youngsters?
Exactly. Yeah. Whereby they are even getting to a level of comfort that when they're in the bar, they are using their past stardom to justify buying them a drink.
Yeah.
You get. That's not nice. And sometimes that thing is only happening because maybe he doesn't have cash on him. True. But when someone has cash on him, he's going to sit down and they'll be like the big rollers. You get. They're on the other side, and these guys who are playing basketball, they say, hey, man, I want to be in that position when I happen to retire. Because this guy is comfortably spending on himself, he's looking good, he's looking healthy. We've had these scenarios. People know the scenarios we've had in the game where ex-superstars, ex-international players, they are struggling. And it's a reality. People don't want to talk about it, but deep down, everyone knows. And yes, the whispers are even louder than the silence.
True.
You get it?
Now the conversation can go on and on here about this topic, but share with us in the comment section what you think about it. And on the next episode, Jans, I want to ask you a question of who is responsible. Who should we ask the question? Thank you.
Thank you.